We come to life on a quest. What we seek lies within us. I call it power within. And more than anything, we seek to realize our power within. Come with me on this quest to open your power within.
Welcome to Power Within. Today, we're going to explore something that's been building on this idea of power within. You see, we are so accustomed to going into the world to get our needs met. What if there was another way? Let me give you this metaphor as an example of what I mean. Imagine that everything around you is composed of a 3D hologram of light. You reach for something as if it were real and find that your hand goes right through the object. Your senses tell you that it is real, but in fact, it is not. You begin to realize that the hologram is being projected from some other source. Looking around everywhere, you cannot find where the source is projecting an image of the real item, which you would like to pick up. Finally, you stop looking everywhere in the world and instead look inside yourself. There, you discover a great light that connects to both your own mind, where you envision everything, and to a greater universal mind, which is connected to all other souls and matter of all creation. At this point, you no longer attempt to grab at the 3D hologram projections of light in the world, because now you see that this is just a projection cast outward from inside of you and held together by universal mind. Instead, you begin to turn inward to your power within and begin to mentally envision what it is that you need while asking for support in realizing your goal. Your clear mental vision creates a thought pattern, and from that blueprint, the object is projected into the ether through the great universal mind of your power within, along with your efforts until it is real. Then you can reach out and take it. Holograms are projections. The real thing lies elsewhere. And if we could wake up from the thought matrix beyond our five senses and only what they tell us is real, we would realize this to be true. But all of this emanates from somewhere, right? That somewhere lives right inside of you. The source of where all the projection of creation comes from. We would go straight to that source with our power within, and that is where we would ask for everything. The one important thing to understand, though, is that we're not seeking to become sorcerers over the world and to seek out this supernatural power for its own sake. We must be sincere in wanting to connect deeply with our own soul, that power within us. And if we're not sincere, we cannot make the connection, because you see, the nature of our power within is love, and it responds to love from us. Let me give you an example from my own experience to illustrate the hologram idea. My family had a dog that they could no longer keep, and I had promised to take the dog with me when I moved to Southern California. This became a problem, though, because as you know, it can be very difficult to find a place to live that will allow you to have your pet with you. And I did my due diligence. I did everything that I could do, from searching multiple boards for places to live, as well as talking to everybody I knew in my network. I met with dozens of different people to discuss the possibility of renting out a room from them. There were at least 3 people that had consented and had approved for me and my pet to stay in their place. And one by one, each of these eventually fell through. This had been going on for literally weeks, so I was quite at my wit's end. And I really knew that I had done everything I could think of. And it signaled to me that I needed to turn inward. And the moment that I did, I immediately felt a sense of calm, of being able to take the burden off of my own shoulders and partner with a power within me that was even greater, that could truly help me. I began by turning inward and becoming calm through different techniques of meditation. As my breath began to calm and my heart began to calm, my mind also became more receptive. I continued at this until I could feel a sense of peace. And once that peace enveloped me, I knew that I had made contact with my power within. And at that point, I made my sincere ask. Out of the love in my heart, I wanted support to find a place that I could live that would feel like home, where I could also have a dog. After a little while, I had this feeling in my heart that I had been heard. And from that faith, I held out hope that something would come through. Shortly thereafter, I did actually happen to make contact with somebody, and I found a really beautiful place to live that had space for a garden. It was really perfect for having a dog. It had a yard. And ironically, I had also met my husband out of this. So that's what happens when you reach out to power within and work with that power to find what you need. From that source, not only is your original ask answered, but you are given more than you could even think to ask for. Because long after my beloved pet passed away, you see, I had a home and I had my husband too. So let's say that right now you are in some sort of situation where you are in great need for something. The first thing that you must do is to consciously stop, surrender, acknowledge that you do not have to do this task alone. It is not solely up to you. You have the source of everything within yourself, in that power within, if you only decide to make contact with it. The very thought that you don't have to do this alone is actually quite powerful. It tells your subconscious mind that there is another power within you that's even greater, that can work through you. It allows your subconscious mind to help your conscious mind become more open and aware, to facilitate the doors that open. Instead of walking right past them, your subconscious will acknowledge you have a power greater within you that can spot these doors, to spot the opportunity, and to go towards it. Let's do a quick breathing and visualization exercise to help you. So the first thing is we want to turn the gaze gently to the point between the eyebrows right here. Just close the eyes, and it's very gentle upliftment. There should be no strain. And then take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth. And as you breathe out, allow the breath to drop down into the lower abdomen. Allow the breath to move in and out from the lower abdominal area. This gets us out of a panic breath, which we usually do up here in the chest. We want to bring it down. This is a first step in the relaxation process. Then begin to picture this beautiful light right here at the point between the eyebrows. This light is moving through your mind, through your brain, and it is calming all of your nerves, all of the restlessness, and all of the worry is now coming to quiet, as if you were watching a pond that had been disturbed with ripples. slowly melting those ripples out. You can feel this light in your mind, in the brain itself, moving through all of the nerves. As these nerves are beginning to calm, sink into the calmness. Allow it to permeate you. Allow yourself to be enveloped with the ever-loving, ever-present, ever-peaceful presence of your power within. Continue to sit like this, focusing at the point between the eyebrows, calming the breath, visualizing the light, seeing that light calming your mind and your nerves until you feel calm. Now, once you feel that sense of calm and peace, this is the moment to make your ask. And it can be very simple. It can be, please help me. I am willing to do my part, but I acknowledge that all help comes from the source within me. I open to divine guidance. Please bless me, guide me, and help me. As you sit, wait to see if in the quiet, if in between the spaces of your thoughts, you feel a thought coming from elsewhere. In other words, it's not a train of thought, but rather a thought that emerges seemingly out of nowhere. This thought is an answer. It is coming from your heart, from your intuition feeling. This is the superconscious mind helping you. Now, if you do not feel any response or clarity, that's okay too. Trust that your ask has been heard. Know it. Tell yourself and your subconscious mind, my ask has been heard. An answer will be forthcoming, and believe it. If you have to repeat this, consciously repeat it again and again until your subconscious mind believes it and acknowledges it. The reason why this is important is because the subconscious mind is the one that opens the door and makes space for the superconscious mind to speak through your intuition. It allows the subconscious to step aside and say, the soul wants to speak. And the soul speaks and guides. You may find that you don't receive an answer until much later. Maybe it's later in the day. Maybe you wake up the next morning and the answer is there. Oftentimes, I've found that the answer comes doing something really ordinary, like washing dishes or folding laundry. It's usually when we're perceptive and yet not actively thinking, because the superconscious needs some space in our thought, in our mind, to reach us. The most important thing is to trust that you are being helped and that you will soon see evidence of this if you just keep on. Watch and see how, even in little ways, your power within is opening up a way for you that will answer your need. A lot of people give gratitude for everything that they receive in life, and this is a very good practice. It's also important to give gratitude before you receive what you ask for. This helps the subconscious mind believe that it is possible. And when your subconscious believes something is possible, it heightens your conscious awareness towards things that you would ordinarily dismiss. This brings me to one last piece. Sometimes we don't get what we ask for, but we usually get redirected to something better. So never be discouraged that what you ask for from your power within, from that great source, will not be answered. It's always answered. At some point, at the right timing or in the right way, you will always be answered. So in conclusion, it's important for us to first reorient ourselves. We can't always trust that the way is logical through all of what our senses can see, because unless we're omniscient and we can see everything in this world, there's quite a bit that we cannot see. And the source of everything comes from that power within that's connected to our very own souls. So it's important to first start by acknowledging that the world is not our source. Power within is our source. Begin to turn towards it, and that means going within. Once we acknowledge that the world is really the effect rather than the divine cause, we will much more easily turn within to the true divine cause within ourselves and make our asks there. This takes a little reorienting because we are so in the habit, so accustomed to thinking that all of our needs are granted out there. And while we do need to take action, we do have a part to play. We should never play that part alone. Always, always take your power within with you. There's sometimes this notion spiritually that if we want to become more spiritual, if we want to become self-realized or enlightened, that we must somehow give up the world. This does not mean that we give up our needs. It means that we cease to be attached to the world as our source, that our power within is the source from which we receive everything. The way to our power within and opening it must come from a sincere desire to work with that power, not for greed or some other external desire for power or wealth, but because, firstly, we want to know the truth that we're living in our souls, that our five senses can't always tell us. We must first go within to our soul, to our power within, with a sincere, loving desire. We need to go within to harness the power of our lives. The world often makes us feel as though we can do it on our own, that we can control it or make it happen. But often this can come at a cost. Maybe we get what we ask for, and turns out that's not the best thing that we should have asked for. Maybe we think we're going to get it, and then suddenly it fails or falls through. But if we go to source within ourselves as our power within, not only will our true need be answered every time, we'll often get it in the best way, and we'll get things that we wouldn't have even thought to ask for. Instead of grabbing at the holograms the world shows you, open your power within and seek there as your source. So in this episode, we've begun to open our power within by turning inwards and seeing it as our source. In part 2, we're going to go a little bit deeper because the true divine goal, the one that we're really seeking after and craving, that nothing in the world, no achievement, no thing, no relationship can ever fulfill, is to make that soul contact. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to continue to learn the conscious and subconscious techniques that support in opening our experience to the superconscious, that which is our power within. Thank you for joining.